Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Blade and Sorcery video. Now, you're probably wondering why the camera is not facing me, and that is because I am running the 8.4 beta, and currently the spectator camera is misbehaving for me, so I'm not even going to attempt to use it. It's just being wonky. But what I wanted to show you guys in this video was, is the 8.4 beta worth opting into if we're losing all of our mods? And is the performance boost truly enough to make us want to go to this beta? Well, if you've thought those things, fret not, because your old boy Drifter's here to help you out and show you everything along the way, from potato mode all the way to the maximum settings. So sit back, relax, hit that subscribe button and like button, and let's take a look at the 8.4 performance update. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and go into my book, and let's turn some things on for testing. I want to be infinite. And all these categories, I want to make sure fall damage is off, and more importantly, we're going to turn off NPC armor. Then let's go into the menu side of things and make sure that, dismemberance turn on and all this fun stuff. But the most important thing is we're going to look at graphics. So let's turn all this stuff down. Let's go to, potato mode. 0.5. Can we go any lower? Any lower than 0.5? Wow. I can go to 0.2, but it looks like I'm drunk. I can't see anything, so I'm going back to 0.5. MSAA disabled. Texture quality, absolutely not. We're going to potato, so that's very low potato. Can't have any shadows on whatsoever. Max decal on 5. Let's look at the spawning. Max object, we're going to have to set this to like 1 or 2. Same thing here, as low as we can go. Clean visible dead, yeah. Physics, we're not going to touch physics. We'll leave that as it is. Okay, let's spawn some things I can barely see right now. That it's just so bad on my end. But let's look at this book, and there is a performance test at the bottom. So, performance test. This spawns about 20 NPCs. Let's spawn 20 NPCs. They should, be coming out here any second. There's one. The most important thing is that when the NPCs spawn, no longer is, your CPU freaking out because enemies are spawning, as they're just spawning, which is great. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 NPCs out already, 7. And, look, I'm moving around. There's no like choppiness really. Granted, I'm on potato settings, but look at all these guys. This is impressive. This actually is really impressive. They did a lot for this. So if I was, only looking to play on potato mode, I could play on potato mode, no problem. Look at all these NPCs. It's like a party. Excellent. Hey, friend. Whoa, say goodbye to your head. But is their armor disabled? That's the, hold on. It doesn't seem like their armor is disabled, though. Sir. Now, the armor's still enabled, though. I think that's one of the, I don't know if it's if it's a current bug, but it definitely feels like the armor is still enabled, which is unfortunate. Whatever, though. Just the fact that I have all these guys on the screen, impressive. Beat it. Performance test over. Get out of here. Let's turn this up from potato mode. So, going back into graphics, the next thing to probably do is, let's turn the texture quality up 1. Let's turn some shadows on, 5 meters. Max decal's fine. MSA will leave still disabled, but render scale, I'm going to go from 0.5 to 0.75. Spawn, this is important. Max dead bodies. Let's turn this up to like 4. Max objects 4. Yeah, so now that we have that going for us, well, we'll get to the performance test. We'll do one final performance test at the end, but let's just do like an endless melee and see what an endless melee looks like, because no one's going to play on a performance test. We're going to play on endless melee and do all that stuff. So, spawn, friends. Okay. So what is important is that once these guys are dead, they should stick around for a while, and that usually cause huge problems. The amount of dead bodies, that was a problem. And also, the enemy spawning in, huge problem, and make your GPU and CPU just like take an ultimate coffee break, which is not what you want right now. And look, we can still have these body parts. But what I've noticed so far is that, the textures, yeah, there's paint on my sword and whatnot, but it doesn't seem to be any like wound marks. See, no wound marks. He just kind of looks like he's hit. And when you hit them with like spells like fire, no longer does it put like the charred burn marks or anything, which, I need that. That's immersion for me. I need to have my immersion. Now, is it because I have a lot of the settings turned off? Maybe. but I really don't think so. So we see that the performance is pretty good, leaving dead bodies, leaving maximum objects on here. It's set to 4. Let's turn this up and truly see what we can do on the next setting. Render scale, 1. MSAA, let's put this on ×2. Texture quality, let's set that to medium. Shadows, jump that up to 30. Max decal, let's put that up. Let's get 15 in there. You know, still 80 frames per second, not bad. Spawning is, I want like 7 dead bodies. And let's do 7 objects. Excellent. Now it looks much better. I have MSAA turned up again, so I want to see if my textures come back. Is your face all burnt up? I can't really tell, but his face got burnt up. Huh! Well, maybe I shouldn't miss. Show me your face. I need to burn it up. Now I see that the textures, they're not there. Stab wounds, spell damage, that is just completely absent, which, I don't know, that's a deal breaker for me. I ran on 8.3 with no problem with my mods. Granted, I had things turned down, maybe the render scale. I think I left it on 1, but I had max objects and dead bodies set like to 1, you know, just so it wouldn't mess with my game entirely. So this is definitely, you know, if you were someone that was complaining about performance, 8.4 definitely has a performance for sure. Like, I feel like I don't get any frame drops. You know, we had 20 NPCs out before, nothing. Killing guys left and right and having them spawn in, you know, it's perfectly fine. You know, we're dismembering things, so that's still in there, so that's cool. Don't get up. I don't know if this is worth foregoing all the current mods like the Outer Rim, you know, because, you know, the Outer Rim is definitely not 8.4 compatible at the moment. Because you know, like I said, I used to play with like 1 corpse on, so just being able to see like the litany of bodies, it's great. It really is. What's that you say? You want me to turn it up even further? Well, I hear you. Let's go ahead. Let's go back into graphics. Let's get the render scale on like 1.5, because I think if I go anywhere past this, you know, my game will blow up. MSA, let's put that on ×4. Texture quality, you know, we're going to have to kick this into high gear. High. Shadows, how high can shadows go? 100. Max decal, boom. Bring the decals up. Spawning in physics. Let's go maximum, and maximum here. Okay. Nice and high. So we're going to have to, once again, do this performance test. So performance test. Let's see how things work out. Now remember, this is up to 20 NPCs at a time. And I think this time, once the, you know, the whole gaggle of people spawn, I'm going to do like the gravity bomb and see really what happens, you know, when we get, you know, a bunch of, you know, guys floating around, and when people start to die, that's where, you know, the real test is going to be. Once again, I am running on a 2060 Super SSD, 16 gigs of RAM on an i7, I think 3.8 or 4.2 i7. So yeah, I got definitely a beefier machine, but you know, we want to see what this is capable of. So we got a bunch of guys still fighting with, you know, keep in mind, this is turned on. You know, I'm all the way up there, and it doesn't really seem like the frames are dropping. Like, look how many people are on screen. There's, you know, a tiny bit of screen tearing right now, but I think that's expected. I mean, what other VR game currently has all this physics going on with, you know, without this happening? So let's levitate some bodies, and we'll see what happens here. It still looks pretty good. You know, maybe, what's the frames at right now? 25. Well, okay, I mean, that might cause some people to throw up. But I think that was expected. I think we knew that was going to happen. Look, back to like 30 some odd frames per second. Yeah, I'm getting a couple drop frames. But this is keep in mind, this is a performance test. You know, you're not going to play on the performance test unless you're like a serial killer, I think. Seeing a whole bunch of, you know, corpses everywhere, being able to pick up all these weapons that I'm not used to, this is great. So if you were complaining about performance, this is your update. This is definitely your update. Keep in mind, most of your mods will not work, unfortunately, like the Outer Rim. So big sad on that one. But if you want some performance, get 8.4 beta. Just keep in mind, it's missing some other cool gameplay elements like the textures. That's quite sad. There's no textures. Well, I should say there's no textures. There's no like wound textures and like, you know, melt their face textures. What is he doing? This man's just hanging out. Are you just hanging out? You're enjoying the new update? Okay, what is this something I said? whatever. Well, overall, this has been the 8.4 update, and I think overall I have to say that as far as performance goes, the performance is great. I mean, it's better than it has ever been. I mean, was it even this good in U7? I don't know. I think they definitely had to redo the whole character system, because VR reasons. I know VR is super complicated, so don't ask me. I just play the games. Why I'm currently torn on this beta, I don't know if I'm currently going to stay on it. I didn't really have too many problems with 8.3, but I definitely cannot argue with this. They definitely fixed a lot of the issues that were plaguing the game, from enemy spawns making your GPU spike to the amount of dead bodies and objects. Those were huge problems. It was just making everyone's games that they could swear that they were able to play, like games like Boneworks, and they weren't able to play this one. So definitely big update there. However, missing out on our mods is a huge problem, and also missing some other basic features like the decals when you stab someone, and decals when you use like a spell on someone. You used to just be able to like burn, and that's not burning. So it definitely took a step backwards. And also some other menu options don't seem to work. Like I turned off their armor. So if I go back in here, their armor is disabled, but it's still enabled. So when I hit them, it's still acting like they have armor on. So I don't know what that is. But also my other biggest problem is the spectator camera. Currently with the previously with the spectator camera on 8.3 and the other ones, I could just look where I'm going, press F3 and then set the camera up. However, the spectator camera currently has a mind of its own, and which is why I have to do a more informal video like this. But let me show you what I'm talking about. See, the camera just moves now. Like look at this. It's just moving. Like I can control this a little bit. Like I'm controlling it. Hello, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. See, I have to control this with a stick, so I can no longer like move around. I can switch to like a keyboard, but this is just weird. That's weird, man. I can't even like walk because like I'm actually walking right now, and I don't know where that camera just went. So I apologize that it's probably in the ground for you guys. But yeah, it's definitely a little upsetting that I can't do that way. It's not a huge deal, but I know for myself and other YouTubers out there that that's actually a big problem. But what can I say about this update? Am I going to stick with it? Probably not. I'm not someone that had a lot of issues with 8.3. I mean, obviously this is where the game is going, and this is where the updates will take us. But when this is more robust and stable, and some of the other bugs that are currently in here go away, for sure, 8.4 all the way. However, if you are someone that went from U7 to U8 and you complained about frame dropping and performance, then this is the update for you, because this fixes a ton of that. Some mods are starting to trickle in that are updated for 8.4, but just keep in mind you're going to be missing out on some other things. But I promise you that if you want to do U8's update and you want better frames and you want more performance, 8.4 beta all the way. But don't expect to use your mods. That's all I'm going to say about that. Well, everyone, that's it for today's video. I wanted to thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking this out. I just wanted to kind of do a formal/informal video to let you know if it's worth actually using the 8.4 beta. So I hope this video was helpful, and I hope that you can kind of see what was going on. We played in everything from potato mode to upgraded mode, so take it as you will. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Now will be a great time to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below so we can have some fun and talk. Remember, join the Discord, do all that fun YouTube stuff. Check out the Patron and the merch store. I'm out of breath. And other than that, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I'm Rob from Downloadable Content, and I will see you in the next video.